So the crypto market is having a pullback right now, and the big question, of course, is Bitcoin in trouble? Yes, and you should sell to me. Now, let's take a look. But when should we be concerned about Bitcoin? What's the exact level where we should be a little worried, or should we look out for? That's what we're going to check out today. It's not that prepared. It's just messing around on the charts, but I bet you we can find something nice. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Like the video, push it into YouTube's algorithm. Can we get 50 likes? 50. Come on, that's all I ask. 50 likes should be doable. Turn on the bell notification as well, and let's jump right into it. So, Bitcoin. You know, I'm making an extra video today just because the market is finally moving, right? Bitcoin is going down a little bit, and it is all pretty understandable. We all could have predicted this, right? There was a, well, whatever, 95% chance that this would happen. And why do I say that? Well, it's very simple. That 25,000 area is a very big resistance level, right? 25.2, give or take. You see that we had, you know, it's understandable as we had some, well, trouble around this area on the run up, but not necessarily. But on its way down, we really, you know, came below it. And once we got below it, we got wrecked, right? And we tried to claim that level a couple of weeks in a row right here. Did not work. We came back down again. And now it's basically our second attempt, right? So it's not that we have done that much effort to break this level right here. Also, it's not just the horizontal that we are having troubles with at the moment. It's also, if you look at the moving averages, right? It's very simple that the 200 weekly moving average comes in right around $25,000. It's slightly higher than that, slightly higher. So that's a big area of resistance, of course, because if you look at the 200 weekly moving average, it was a big support in the past. You can see that all the time Bitcoin was running, the 200 weekly moving average was holding Bitcoin as support. And by the time that we broke below it, it's kind of resistance right now. We tried to reclaim it here right away. Didn't work. We fell down hard. And now it's kind of our, you know, this attempt right here to finally break it for the first time. And yeah, why should it work at the first time? It's not that that happens, right? If we look at the 50 weekly moving average, right, that's also coming in right there. So we basically have two moving averages of quite a size right there, which should be big resistance because the 50 moving average was also resistance back in March when we were still sitting at around 46.7K, right? So these come in both. It was a the first death cross on the weekly, by the way. So also, you know, they never crossed before. So we don't really know what it's going to do. I don't think it's going to be that bad though. But it's a very understandable point of resistance. So what could be the case right now? Well, what could be the case is I hope that around this 23,700 level could be support for us. Because if we draw another line right there, you can see that, you know, that's also where we had some resistance right here. We had resistance here, and now we're trying to test it as support, right? So if we hold that as support, then we're good in this area. If we break below it, we should see maybe some support at, well, 22.6 is a bigger level even. So let's move the barrier right there, right? This is a way bigger level now. I see it. Resistance, lots of support, resistance again, support, and it could definitely be that we go to around 22.5. If we do not hold that, then there is one last level before we can finally say that we are in trouble. Although I doubt that we are in trouble, right? And that level is around that 21,800, between there and, well, you know, between there and 21, right? So 21 and a half, give or take, right? That's an area where I think a lot of buyers will step into the game again. We have lots of resistance and support right there, but also the bull market support band comes in by the time over there. And that was big resistance throughout the whole bear market, basically, right? That's always the case. And in a bull market, it is support. That's why it's kind of called the bull market support band. So we want to see it hold, right? If we break that, then we are in trouble, right? But that's like not the conversation right now. Now, why is Bitcoin dipping? You can look at all sorts of news and everything, of course. On the other hand, you can also just look at this chart right here and be like, oh, Bitcoin just had a 60% pump, right? Is it so weird that Bitcoin now dumped 5%? Like, no, it's like you can expect that to happen, right? So that's still looking fine, if you ask me. If you look at this chart, also fine, because we broke this diagonal line, and it's not weird if we retest this level right here, right? So that's definitely doable. On the other hand, to back that up even more, you know, stocks are going down. Yeah, stocks are going down. Indeed. Oh my God, it's so dramatic. Damn, look at this resistance right here. Oh, it's now support, right? So I think it's like people that feel like if Bitcoin goes up by $1,000, everybody is like, oh, we're going to all-time highs. And if it goes down $1,000, then the capo guys come in again and say like, we're going to make new lows. I honestly don't expect too much of this, right? If you look at the S&P, it broke out of this downtrend, and it's understandable that we get a retest. And look, what retest point is a strong point. This downtrend, of course, but also the bull market support band right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do come down to 39.60, maybe even next week 39.40 or so, right? You know, if we really go below there, like low 39, and we close there pretty soon, right? If we do it right here, then it's possible. But if we do it right here already and we break these levels, then there is slightly more trouble going on. But for now, this is looking like this is something we could have predicted, right? Now, also the DXY, the dollar, right, is going up, which is usually not that bullish for stocks and crypto. I mean, the dollar is going up, stocks is going down, crypto is coming down. So is the dollar looking that bad? Well, let's take a look at that. Oh, no, it's not that bad. Look, I mean this. If we look at this chart, and we're also going to take a look at altcoins, though. There are some more bad news, though. But the dollar was basically going up from May 2021 until kind of September 2022, right? An upwards dollar does not have to mean a very big lag down, though. Because from May 2021, it was going up, right? But if you look at Bitcoin, May 2021, which was here, right? And we still made a move of a 2x on Bitcoin while the dollar was going up. So it doesn't have to necessarily mean anything. But overall, we want this thing to go lower. Right now, we went up. Bull market support band as well. So very bullish for the dollar, not bullish for crypto, right? We broke the bull market support band right here. And right after that, we broke this horizontal right here. We broke this diagonal right here. And that's kind of, that's very weak of the dollar, of course, after such a run, right? And now we came back down and we are sitting here. So we look like we are going to test this line right here. If we really close above 105 this week or even next week, I would say that's not bullish. But I am not so sure if we will do that, at least in the first attempt. I've drawn this just to fuck around a little bit. It's nothing really too serious, especially not the timing. But my expectation and my hope is that we test it, as we do right now, get rejected, maybe another test, bounce off this trend line right here, maybe go up, but eventually break this trend line, go back to around 100, maybe hover a while between 100 and 103, and eventually go all the way back down to around 98. You see that this 100 is a very, very, very big level of support. You can see it all the way back to the 2000s, right? It's a very big level of support. We will bounce there probably. But if we eventually break it, then you'll see that this 98 level, and that's bullish for crypto. That's bullish for crypto. So overall, it's not looking that bad. It's looking like the charts were kind of telling us that this was going to happen with crypto, right? The next question is, of course, where will Bitcoin go? it won't, I don't know, but it won't surprise me if we go back to around 21.5. And even in that case, I am not worried. Between this range of 25 and 21.5, it's a range. It's just a range, right? If we go back down in the range between 21.5 and 18.5, that's where I will get a little more worried. But that's for then. We won't get there today. At least crazier things has happened in crypto, but I don't expect that. How is altcoins looking though? Well, let me take a look. Yeah, kind of the same. I mean, we were in this downward trend right here. We finally broke it. And a retest of this trend only makes sense, right? So if we go down there, then that's another like 5-6% drop, which could mean a 10% down on altcoins in general, right? Like one altcoin could go down 2% in the other 20, but overall I think like around 10% down from here. It's very doable. You see that the market is looking a little red today, but therefore it looks worse than it is. Right? People are used to seeing green numbers right now for a while, and now it's red, right? So it feels like, ah, shit, but look, if you look at it, it's not that red or anything. We just had 200-400% pumps on altcoins. Let it go down 20%. Like, what are we complaining about, right? But therefore, I said in earlier videos, it's all about your timing. Because, yeah, of course, if you bought here, then you are now down 30%. Then it's bad, of course. But I hope my audience right here, and I think that you were smart enough not to buy the top. If you did make that mistake, keep watching the videos. I will try to prevent you from doing that. So overall, the market is not looking that bad. If you look at the USDT dominance, basically still in a downward trend. It's just having a little bounce right now, but people still deploying USDT in crypto. And to be honest, of course, this where we bounced now is some support, right? Definitely it's support. We never been there, so there's not much data to work with. But we had resistance here. We had support here, right? And now we are creating a lot of support here as well. Overall, I do think that we will break to the downside, and we will end up at around 4.8%, give or take. And you have to know that the move from the last high to where we are right now is 30% down. If we go from where we are right now to my target, it's kind of the same, right? So if that's the same move in deployment, it means that Bitcoin could have the same run from here as what it had from here. So what I mean is Bitcoin now moved 55% where we are right now, right? If the same amount of USDT is going to get deployed, which the chart might be telling us, might, we don't know, of course, but 55% from here is $37,000. Right now, of course, it will be a little less because if you put in money in Bitcoin at this point, the chart will pump more than if you will put in at this point, right? But I think that move to around 30K is still definitely on the table. This little correction right here. For now, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. What it only tells you is not to buy the top. And I really, like I said, I hope you did not do that. So let's take a look at a couple of altcoins really quick. I don't want to make this too long. Are there any altcoins sitting at major support levels that are maybe interesting right now? Altura, not really yet. This is nothing. D-Race, I won't buy it yet. Engine Start is still too high. Gala, it's getting there. I mean, that's Gala Bitcoin. Gala Dollar is definitely not yet getting there. Illuvium, if you want to buy some Illuvium, then Illuvium Bitcoin as well. Illuvium Tether, well, I told you in one of my last videos, like, don't buy at 85. You can better buy at 72, give or take. It's now sitting at 76. So it's getting closer to a good entry. It doesn't mean like this chart doesn't tell us, okay, like it's going to go at 272, right? We could bounce here, right? But it looks like it has more downside in it. IMX, not interesting. Nakamoto Games still has a long way down to go in my opinion. Polka City, meh. Polka Starter, for the ones interested, I wouldn't buy yet until 55 cents. Pools, too big of a pump, still not buying that. Foco Forge Bitcoin is, well, it's not doing that great. It's really not doing that great. Yeah, no, I mean, it broke out to the downside of this triangle, as you can see. Also broke this horizontal, so or it going to end up being a fake out that could still be playing out. So you want to look at how this week is going, or it could go to maybe around like, well, what is it, like 15% lower maybe. I think it could get another 12% lower, something like that. Foco Forged USDT, it's getting to my first target of around $3.50. So looking good as well. If it doesn't find, look, I mean, it's now testing the bull market support band as support again, right? And we want to see this hold. You could have a fake out and then it should bounce at around 350. So yeah, that's that. CDFI was holding up quite well, but it's also because it did not have that much of a pump like other altcoins. I expect and hope it to bounce at, you know, around $1 and otherwise like 92 cents. I hope we hold 92 cents, and if we don't, let's take it from there then. Superverse, yeah, it's still looking good. Ultra, red as always, not buying right now, although it's sitting, yeah, around a level where you might want to DCA a little bit, like 21.5, give or take. VRA, this is gaming, by the way. Let's take a look at some others. Cardano, I wouldn't buy Cardano at all, but if you were buy Cardano, I wouldn't buy Cardano until it's at 34 cents, give or take. Cardano Bitcoin, look, and therefore, like I said, you want to check out the Bitcoin dominance, right? Because Bitcoin was going up, but the dominance was as well. So Bitcoin was leading the run. You could have better been in Bitcoin than in altcoins, right? But now Bitcoin is going down. The altcoin, the dominance is not really doing anything. It's staying at the same level, right? So altcoins are also just dumping with it. And you can see that in their altcoin pairs. Like Cardano, you might feel like, oh, it's far from its low, right? I mean, we had the low right here in December, and we are now 60% above it, right? So you buy far from the lows. But if you have bought Bitcoin, accumulating Bitcoin, and I don't know why you wouldn't, because risk reward, perfect, right? And if you now have Bitcoin and you want to buy Cardano anyway, it's not 60% from its low, but it's 10% from its low. How, you know, you're nailing it if you buy something 10% from its low, right? And I'm not saying that this is the final low. I do think that it could go lower, in fact. But if you're willing to bet on the fact that it doesn't go lower than this, then you're buying pretty close to the low, right? So that's also something you would like to take a look at. But yeah, when it comes to Cardano, I don't know why I draw that line there. I think that we could see a lot more downwards movement for Cardano, like with its Bitcoin pair, another 40%. Yeah, I think that's possible. Like Bitcoin can go up or can go sideways, and the Bitcoin pairs for these altcoins could just like play out a little like this over the next year, maybe next half year. So yeah, the best time to buy altcoins is not necessarily now. AVAX, you know, at the top of the range, not buying right now. Cake, it depends on how you look at it. I mean, if you take this as the range, this part, then it's sitting at the lower side of the range. If you delete this and you take this as the range, yeah, then it's sitting, you know, quite high still. maybe good dollar cost. I mean, it is sitting at its bull market support band. Let's see if it can hold there, right? And it's, if you don't want to miss out, then this is an opportunity to buy. Phantom, I don't think that. Nah, Phantom is still too high. I mean, it could definitely come down to around 42 cents, 39, give or take. So yeah, there are a lot of altcoins getting there, but don't rush into buying altcoins just because it is down 5%. Because it could go down another 10%, right? And then you feel bad. So I just wanted to update you guys on that. Is there anything else on? I will go. You know, I will show more charts soon about intothecryptoverse.com. I love this platform. I love using it. This, however, very important in my opinion. So let me show you one more thing. This is the market cap 6. This is everything excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's basically the same as the total 3, but the total 3 also has stable coins, and this also excludes stable coins, right? So this is really how altcoins are doing. And it's quite understandable that if you look at this chart as well, look at what resistance point it is sitting, right? It's a very understandable place now for altcoins to get rejected. To get the rejection right here, where we had resistance here, here, and a lot over here. So going down to the lower side of this range, like around here, it is definitely possible. That's a $200 billion market cap. It's now sitting at a $300 billion market cap, right? But just look at the support right here and look at the resistance right here. So if that's the range for now, then altcoins could overall, on the slightly longer time frame, still fall 30%. And I think it's very doable. Like I said, we had a lot of coins that really popped, like Phantom, for example, as well, 280%, right? Let it go down 30%. It's like on average, right? Phantom might go down more because it pumped harder. Some will go less. But overall, the coming weeks, months, maybe 30% down on altcoins is, well, in my opinion, likely. So let's leave it there. Don't see it as bad news. See it as an opportunity. If you have money to deploy, make use of it. But, you know, be aware of your timing. Don't buy a 5% dump if it could dump 30%. For now, that's it. If you like the video, I like you. So good deal, I guess. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.